Hello, everybody, and welcome to another podcast. This is the BarnYard, episode 2. I'm Blaine McIntosh alongside
Matthew Eden.
Today's sponsors are Herring Inc. Thank you for the sponsor today. What are we getting into today, Matt?
Well, you know I'm one for a big underdog and a big upset, right?
Right.
Well, what would you think if I told you Austin Peay would beat Mississippi State in baseball?
What? Big SEC going down early to APSU?
Yeah. So the first game of the series was pretty average for a baseball game. Austin Peay won 3-2. The next game, Austin Peay comes out and wins 13-10.
What?
An old-timey football game score.
Wow. So we have listed here catcher Trevor Conley led the way with going 3 for 3 with a double and a home run and 3 RBIs.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Their bats must have just lit up.
For both teams, they had to have been on fire.
Oh, yeah.
I know it was
That's
rough
a
on the
high
mound.
score. So we have listed here, the first inning, Mississippi State came out hot, obviously, with 5 runs in the very first, and APSU not doing anything until around the third when they put up 4, but the same inning in the third, MSU puts up 3 more runs. So at that point, it's not looking good for APSU, but somehow they strung together a couple more hits, some big hits in key situations, and in that last inning, we're able to score around 4 runs to give them the lead by 3 and winning 13-10. That's insane. With 2 wins in a row, that's insane for APSU this year.
Yeah, it was a rough day on the mound for both teams.
Oh yeah, I saw they were pitching a couple of young guys. I'm sure Mississippi State wasn't expecting to lose those games.
Yeah, Austin Peay's pitcher ended up only getting 1 out, and they had a combined between the 2 starting pitchers, Campbell Holt and Tyson Harden, having a combined total of 3 innings pitched, 9 earned runs, and only 1 strikeout.
1 strikeout. Those bats were hot.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
Wow, that's great for them. But yeah, man.
But how about Austin Peay?
Right. How about Austin Peay?
Let's give up a round of applause for
Really,
the
though.
team right down the road.
Really, though, because that's an insane, that's insane because this is the first year Austin Peay has a new head coach.
Yeah.
So going into this looks great for him, obviously. So
Yeah.
APSU's, they're D1.
Next Vanderbilt?
That's I don't know, but there's a lot of big teams getting beat. You
Yeah.
know, you had Wake Forest #1 going down to UNC Greensboro. No one expected that at all at UNC. So that was, I guess, the home field advantage.
Yeah.
When you're the #1 team, you honestly can't go down. I feel like you just
To put that in a perspective, that's like in 2007 whenever Michigan lost to App State in the Big House.
Exactly. So I believe these coaches have no idea with these smaller teams what they have, but those guys on those smaller teams are hungry, man. Those guys are trying to transfer. They're trying to make it to the big league, so it's not like they're scrubs. This is baseball. Anybody can win this game. So
they were for those smaller schools when they're playing a bigger school. That's a World Series for them.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened. If you check on Twitter, there was a entire video of them just rushing the field because you just knocked off the #1.
Yeah,
and your odds were to definitely lose that game.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So respect to them, and you just got to give respect to the celebration because it's not supposed to happen,
Yeah, we love our small teams around here.
Exactly. But yeah, going into this NBA All-Star week we just had, we had the East beating the West 211 to 186.
That's pitiful.
That's
pitiful.
That is insane. The entire game you had guys just throwing up shots. You had a couple of guys getting dribbled through the legs on. It looked like a Globetrotters game.
Yeah, if If I wanted to see the Globetrotters, I would have bought a ticket to go see the Globetrotters.
Exactly. So, what do you think going into these next like All-Star years? Do you believe these top tier players should be giving at least a little bit of effort?
They have to. Even Larry Bird said, whenever you have these best players in the world, you got to compete. You got to
Right.
compete. Or
Right.
else fans aren't going to pay attention to it. I couldn't tell
Exactly.
you the last time I watched an All-Star weekend. I couldn't tell you the last time I did.
I don't think they've taken it super serious going into like.
They're like, oh, these are my buddies. We're just going to go play.
Yeah, it seems like almost like a joke, like pickup game at like
Yeah.
YMCA or something.
Yeah. I've seen more competitive games at the YMCA.
Oh yeah, but it's insane because you had. I mean, it gave other guys opportunities though, for like such as the dunk contest. You had Mac McClung
Dude,
winning back-to-back years.
him just clearing Shaq.
Oh, that's
insane.
he's insane, man. Because if you watch some of his stuff, he talks about how he was doing plyometrics in his like dad's basement and how he's working so much, and you can definitely tell whatever he was doing is
Working.
definitely working because this man is floating
Yeah,
in these videos.
It's insane that he jumped over Shaq, and he ain't, what, 6 foot, 6'1"?
Yeah, some right there, and he's just clearing
To clear
7
Shaq.
feet.
And it ain't like Shaq is a small 7 feet. He is.
Oh yeah, you got to really get up there and
Yeah, you got to get those legs over him.
Yeah, exactly. So that was so impressive to see him win back-to-back years. And going on, we had Tyrese Halliburton and Damian Lillard, Jaylen Brown. They had at least 32. Dame having 39, Jaylen having 36, and Tyrese had 32. But what do you expect out of the All-Star, I guess, week going into the future? If from a fan standpoint, what would you want to see change about what they have going on?
Defense.
Just
I want to see defense. I don't want to see 211 to 186.
Yeah. At least knock it down, about a 130-ish.
Well, yeah, but
Then it's kind of legit a little bit, especially
yeah.
if they're hitting shots.
yeah, I mean, but you got people standing there with their hands in their pockets on defense. Like,
That's what I'm saying. And you got Kevin Durant got dribbled on
yeah.
and just turned around and kind of like threw up his arms. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna wait for the other games, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do like what they did about the I guess you could say like the mini games with like Sabrina and Steph going at it again.
Yeah, see, that's
she went insane. I think she only missed about 2 shots.
yeah.
Like she was on fire.
Yeah.
And
It impressed me.
You have to give it you have to give her kudos because she was putting shots up.
Yeah, she went toe-to-toe with Steph Curry, the greatest shooter in NBA history.
Yeah, so it's like if you're watching this and you're not amazed by that, that's
it's remarkable.
it's crazy. But yeah, even talking about the intensity of the All-Star games, you had Anthony Edwards saying, I don't think anybody wants to come here and compete, and it's like they're voicing these opinions publicly. So what does that make us feel like when we're watching them do it and you have the actual players saying, "Oh yeah, we're not competing." So
well, whenever you have all the big name stars not really playing, not really trying all that much, it just it kills it.
oh yeah, I feel like we could sit here and say like, "Oh, they need to give more effort and this and that," but what happens when a guy does get injured in these games or their team is affected and you have a lot of money on that court.
Yeah.
Like each team is probably biting their fingernails during this game just so there's no, someone stepping on an ankle or something and it's immediately you're out, And and All-Star break is it seems to be like it's hard because All-Star break's right towards going into these big games. Like this is almost the start of March, so you need these guys going towards the playoffs and getting these games and clinching these just like clinching these spots.
Yeah, but like I said earlier, fans want to see a good game. We don't want to see wide open shots.
Right. I would love to see we're talking about these are all-star players with insane attributes. I would love to see how they match up against other teams having to be on a different team with also other all-stars and having that sense of not or understanding that you aren't the only one that can score now. It's everybody that can score. So it would be awesome to see how they just really grasp that and move the ball,
Yeah, I think the East done that pretty good with having 3 players over 32.
Oh yeah. For sure.
The West did not.
No, the West
they were relying on Cat.
Yeah, but that roster insane this year. I was expecting a lot more, honestly.
Yeah.
But let's see what we can expect out of this NFL offseason.
Man, I am excited.
Oh, there's a lot going on, especially for a couple teams we have listed are Commanders, Titans, Bears, Pats, and Bengals having the most cap space this year. What do you think they can do with that going into this offseason?
I think the Bears have all the power in the world. It's how they use it. They have the 1st overall pick. They have the 9th overall pick. Plus, you have the 3rd most salary cap space in the entire league.
Right.
You could turn this team around in one offseason.
Oh, yeah. They're in a perfect position, but everyone needs to be on board. I feel like if they have guys slipping off, like we were talking earlier about Justin Fields and how, I guess everyone made the assumption that when he unfollowed them on Instagram and whatnot, that he was having these mixed feelings about the org. So what do you think they should do with that situation? I know he went on another podcast and spoke about it, saying that, oh, no, it was nothing. It's kind of like, he said about a relationship.
Just on business.
Yeah, it's just on business. So, I mean, I guess it's not anything to him.
Well, we see athletes do this all the time. Even Jeffrey Simmons done it.
Yeah.
And Jeffrey Simmons is one of the most quiet people you'll ever meet in a locker room. They're just trying to get a point across, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, but with this salary cap, I feel like it'll be great for the Commanders as well. I mean, they also hired their first female coach this year.
Are you talking about the Bears?
Commanders. The Washington Commanders hired their first female assistant coach.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. I got it mixed up. I'm sorry.
Yep, her name is Jennifer King. Jennifer King is now the assistant running back coach. What do you like that? I feel like that's a huge step for the NFL going into,
Oh yeah, it's a big step for the NFL going forward, having female coaches.
Yeah, I mean she has plenty of experience in her field with she played for who do we have listed here that she played for?
Let me see here.
We have but that's insane. She's the very first in franchise history. Not only franchise history, but the history of the NFL, I believe, right?
And actually, it is the Chicago Bears that she got hired by. She was on the Commanders.
Oh, okay, so she was with the Commanders, but she's with the Bears now. But going further into that, that's what I mean. Like these teams are not afraid anymore to hire women as coaches because I feel like they're fully qualified at this point. And
if you got the qualifications, I don't care who you are. If you can do a good job, go out there and do it.
Right.
Make people respect you.
That's what I think it is at the end of the day. It's all about knowing what you got to know and the respect level and just understanding that there's so much more to the game than, being man or a woman. It doesn't really matter if you know what you need to know and you can do it efficiently.
Yeah, that's all that matters. If you can do it efficiently and just do a good job.
Right.
That's all anybody asks.
Along with that, we have the Bengals, also a team we listed, having signed T. Higgins
No, they have to
or
sign.
having to sign T.
Yeah.
Higgins.
And Tyler Boyd, with Jamar Chase needing a contract next offseason.
So that might affect their market cap. I mean, even though they have that market cap space,
You got a big
you got
contract on the
exactly. You have a
horizon.
huge contract coming up.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see what the Bengals do going forward when because it's pretty much in the books that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you got to think about it. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Tyler Boyd and Jamar Chase or T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd?
right.
Yeah.
it explains itself.
Yeah. Nothing against T. Higgins. He is a great receiver, but he's not Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase,
He's him.
he is him. And the Titans having the second most,
But they've got a lot of
but
people
they
to
have a
sign.
lot of choices to make coming up this year with Derrick Henry.
Azeez Al-Shaair broke the franchise record for tackles in a single season.
So, I mean, the Titans obviously need rebuilding in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But where do you start first when you have these guys coming up on these?
First things first, you got to get an offensive line. You were going to get Will Levis killed back there without offensive line.
Right. I would honestly love to see Will Levis in the pocket as a pocket passer rather than having to run around and scatter,
Yeah.
scramble for his life like almost every second, third down, that
It's
kills
every play.
it's killing drives.
Look at what T.J. Watt done to him.
Yeah.
That was hard to watch.
He almost made me nervous watching that game because of how much he was just, throwing himself at these defenders, and it's like, man,
Yeah, but that
you're a
shows
quarterback,
me he has the heart. He wants to
he
win.
definitely has the heart. Like we spoke about before, how he didn't want to show up at the Super Bowl because he said, why would I show up if I'm not playing in it?
Yeah.
So I love that heart. I love that energy from him. And I feel like going forward, with that heart, he has, like, he's a leader,
Yeah.
He seems to me like he's a leader and he can lead these guys to do great things. He just needs that, extra help.
Yeah. And, I mean, we still don't know what the Titans have in Treylon Burks.
Yeah.
We still don't. He hasn't been able to stay healthy.
And that's the other half of it is players getting injured. And that's what usually kills us early in the season every year.
Well, yeah, if you look, what was it? The year the Titans won the 1 seed, I want to say it was, they had to start or play 94 different players.
Yeah.
That's a 53-man roster.
Exactly. So they're scratching to just make it through a season, let alone get to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So
How do you think I felt? I started one random receiver that the Titans picked up because A.J. Brown and Julio were hurt. I'm like, okay, yeah, this guy's hopefully he'll be okay. He's the only target out there. Nope, he gets hurt on the first play.
see what I'm saying? It's so tough with the Titans every year that you always think like, oh, I want to, really be behind what they got going on. And it always starts off, pretty solid. And then it's just after game 5, it's just like, yeah, okay, it's exactly how we pictured it would be.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about being a Titans fan. You
Yeah.
always get your hopes built up.
That's the only bad thing. But like we said one time, we're always going to be there for them and be behind them. But we'd love to see a little bit more.
I'm going to say is this: the Titans have the highest blood alcohol content level.
I
late in
did,
games.
yeah, I did see that. That was an interesting stat that
Yeah.
they posted.
You got to be drunk to watch that team
Yeah,
play, especially
yeah.
last season.
Yeah,
That was bad.
There's a lot of beers being bought by these fans here.
Dude, I think they just skipped the beer and just went to the straight
Straight to the kick.
No, straight to the Jack Daniels place over there. Like, yeah, give me a double shot.
Oh yeah, but yeah, man, with football, increasing with NCAA and things like that, they have these new regulations and whatnot. Could you explain what they have going on?
Oh, I am excited for this new playoff format. I am excited. But the only downside of it is the 5 highest ranked conference champions are guaranteed a spot. We're probably going to have a Liberty or a SMU in a playoff spot.
That would be wild. Wait, it probably has been seen years and years and years ago, but it's not ever seen
No.
nowadays.
No. Like this past season, Liberty wouldn't have been in, but you're also having Washington and Texas join different conferences. Oregon is joining a different
I think that's great, though, overall, but everyone's going to know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone knows the outcome. Let's look at FSU. If FSU would have made it in, look at what they did the next game, the next bowl game.
In Florida State's defense, though, they did have a lot of players sit out.
Understood, but you don't lose 62. You got 62 points.
They got blown out.
You got blown out. Like, there's nothing you can say. Like,
even Kirby Smart said that was just pitiful because of the players didn't want to play.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like you put them in a situation where they do have to play this talent. Like,
Yeah.
are they going to do that? That really didn't reinforce their statement. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, it's pitiful. But, all right, back to the new playoff format. So the 5 highest-ranked teams are going to be in no matter what, or 5 highest-ranked conference champions are going to be in. Then after that, it is the 7 best teams at large. So any team, anywhere. The biggest loser in this deal is Notre Dame because they don't have a conference.
Oh.
So they're going to have a good season to get in.
to just even get a shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure who they have coming up after Bo. With Bo Nix leaving, they got they never.
You mean Sam Hartman?
I mean Sam Hartman, but with Sam Hartman leaving, he's gonna leave.
Well, yeah.
And who do they got?
I don't know. But, I mean, you could say the same thing for Michigan with losing J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah, but I feel like Michigan's, with them winning the championship, have a lot more. Yeah, they could kind of persuade some guys to come there because you're past year's national champion, so you have a little bit of say so.
Well, yeah, and
with Saban leaving, that takes a lot off of the transfer portal going to Alabama.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, even their number 1 recruit from this year transferred to Ohio State before he even got started.
Exactly. So it's like, no.
I guess he said, "Screw it, I'm not getting the Mercedes."
With
I ain't going.
With Saban leaving, that changes the whole market. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like guys are not necessarily going to want to go to that program. Like some of the big 5 stars.
Yeah.
I think they were going there because of Saban.
Yeah.
Because now that Saban's gone, you have all these recruits coming that are also big, but now you're going to have new coaching. So it's not going to be the same. He's not going to want the same guy Saban wanted.
Yeah, that's true.
It's going to be a whole different scheme. It's going to be totally different set and coordinators working on,
Yeah.
They're going to flip the program. I mean, they may not completely flip the program, but they're definitely going to have some big changes going into next year.
My thing is if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not
you
like
just need Kalen DeBoer to
but
carry
it's not
over
like the
what
secret
Saban's
formula.
done.
It's not like the secret formula where Saban can be like, "Oh, here you go. This is the,
Yeah.
secret to greatness." No.
Yeah,
it's
before it was just give him a Mercedes.
Yeah, it's like but it's all about play calling, I feel like. Saban's a really good play caller based off of obviously.
Saban's a good motivator.
Oh yeah.
Did you see him, what was it, 2 years ago? Or actually this past season, whenever Tennessee was up on him at halftime, Saban was flipping out. He was jumping up and down, throwing his headset. He was livid.
Man, like you don't really see that from Saban often though.
You do if he's losing to Tennessee.
I guess Tennessee just brings it out of you,
Yeah.